you hear that you kind of hear that a lot is that how many artists make the same album over and over and over again. Like it just becomes different. I
Yeah.
remember Jay-Z was like, everybody's always telling me, what happened to the Blueprint, Jay-Z? What happened to the Blue? He's like, dude, go listen to the Blueprint if that's what you want to hear. Like he's not going to make the same thing over and over again.
That's true.
But I don't know if I'd want to hear. Oh, actually, there are some albums from other people that I'm like, man, you just make another one of these songs exactly like, not exactly like this, but the same context or the same style. And oh my God, it would slap so hard. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't really want that.
It's a weird struggle as a fan because they're making and doing what they want to be doing, but it could be so much better just based off. I think of someone like Kid Cudi. Man on the Moon 1 and 2, I mean,
Yes.
damn, classics,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And he put out a lot of albums after that just didn't quite cut it. And I think he's actually teasing that the trilogy is going to continue. So I think he might put out a Man on the Moon 3. But even then, it's been so many years that it's risky almost. But at least he'll have to, just by calling it that, he'll have to kind of go back and attempt to emulate that same vibe and which is exciting. But I think, people fall in love with a certain artist and expect them to not evolve, which is just unrealistic.
I feel bad for Kid Cudi because I don't think he's going to be able to bring that kind of Man on the Moon 1 and 2. Like, he was just in a different headspace. He was depressed.
Literally,
he
though.
was on drugs,
he was also he was on a lot of drugs, yeah.
He was on a lot of drugs. I mean, I feel like that's the same way with, like, Eminem.
I'm like, yeah, literally.
No, literally, like his brain hit different back then. Like
I mean, that's what all these like crazy genius type artists are like. They're not in the same mindset as we are. Like they're not thinking sanely. They're thinking somewhere totally different. So like Kid Cudi, like he was depressed on drugs. Eminem, like he was an angry person on drugs. All these different artists when they made their like top, music hits, they wanted to go somewhere and they made that music and that made them able to go where they wanted to go, and now they don't have to be in that headspace anymore. So it's like you want that same music because oh my gosh,
bro,
I think it was like Man on the Moon 2 that he kind of had that little video to go along with his album, and dude, that kind of like put me in a different headspace just watching that to know where he was. And I can't do that again with something else if he's not in that same spot. It's gonna be hard.
I feel like it's kind of the curse of content creation, where it's, and you see this a lot with a lot of TV shows, where you can't really win, where like you have a TV show and it does really, really well and it's amazing, and then they create something, the story takes a wild turn in the next season. Half the people are like, oh, what? This doesn't even feel like the same show at all. And the other half of people are like, or let's say they create something that's very similar to the first season, and they're like, this feels exactly the same as the first season. It looks and sounds the same. Nothing's really changed that much. I wonder if it's kind of y'all can tell me what you think. If it's the same kind of curse with music, where it's like, if Drake were to create another album, just like, some of his old albums, would half the people be like, oh, I've kind of heard this before. I feel like he's not innovating. He's kind of doing the same thing he's done before. And the other half of people, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of the curse is, for one, we don't accept the growth in people and how that manifests in a creative process. Kanye's music's going to change because he's changed. Cudi's music's going to change because he's changed. He's in, like you said, he's in a different spot. So why would his music sound the same if it's not coming from the same angst? It's not coming from the same life pain or whatever it may be. And I've kind of had to walk through that in my own music too and be like, I don't want to try to recreate Distorted. Like, how do I just like keep moving and create singles that are just one at a time, where I'm at, what I'm feeling, and what I feel is a good idea. And so I feel like it's almost like the curse of creating content, of just like, you won't please everyone. If you create something new and innovative, people will be like, oh, this doesn't even feel like you. And if you create something the same, people will be like, oh, this just sounds like all your other stuff. And I'm like, what do you do?
Yeah.
True that.
You definitely see that with somebody like the Baby, and even further back like Ludacris. They only have like one flow, dude, and it's kind of starting to bite them in the ass because like after a while you can only get so much. You can only get so much of that. So it works on both sides. Like an artist evolves, and maybe you don't like it like their old stuff, but at least they're capable of evolving. You know, like
Yeah.
Drake has evolved into literally 8 different artists.
Yeah.
There's Caribbean Drake, there's Jamaican Drake, there's like all kinds of Drakes.
Yes.
UK Drake.
There's UK Drake, and what's
Hey,
lucky
hasn't
for
he-
him is that they all
Hasn't
kind of
he
work.
just-
Huh?
Hasn't he just gone to Middle Eastern Drake?
Oh, he's talking about Habibi,
Habibi.
mentioning all these names and shit. Like, dude,
Hey,
that
that
man
was-
has
French, we
visited,
got French Drake.
he's visited every country. Yeah, he said Je t'aime in a song. Like, he's doing all kinds of stuff.
My guy says je t'aime. I think
He
is,
said
is that what says je
He said Je
t'aime?
t'aime.
Bro, like that's the pinnacle of his career. The guy's freaking gone platinum 1,000 times, and we're like, yeah, shit says je t'aime. Like, guys made it. But I think,
Well, it works,
I think that's
but
what
it's
kinda-
crazy though because it works for him, and like
it does.
that's what has solidified his place in music. Other artists cannot do that, dude.
And I think
that's-
that is where the field separates as far as the most versatile. I'm not even talking about, and we've talked about this before, the best in a field. I'm not saying Drake's the best rapper or the best lyricist or best anything. But as far as the most versatile artist, I think there's something to be said there. Where like, dude, I don't want Eminem rapping in French. Like, I don't want, bro, I don't want Eminem, like singing an R&B freaking soul ballad.
Yeah.
I would slap him with a fish. Like, bro, I don't like, I don't need you doing that. And so you can still have like the best in a lane. I don't need you.
I was just saying this the other day. Like Eminem was so mad all the time. Like he would be like, "I fucking love you, Haley." Like so pissed off the moment.
Haley, I'll give you the world, Haley. Freaking sounds like freaking Rick from Rick and Morty all the time.
Dude, Eminem was a crazy dude.
Yeah.
Like I remember, so he dropped. I want to say it was his first album called Infinity, and this is in like '96. This is early. I mean, I was just being born when this album dropped, and
Bro.
he has a song called Kim on there, and Kim was his wife. The whole song is about him killing Kim.
Yes, it's so
Like
weird.
locking, like straight up locking Kim in his trunk and driving off a bridge. That's what it's about. And somehow
Yeah.
we let this man become one of the best rappers of all time. Like,
Yo, we just let it slide. 'Cause
Yeah,
he did
and he's-
not, bro. He did not afraid. So like, we can't really.
and to his credit, Kim's still alive, so he never did it. But
okay,
just the fact that
Yeah.
I mean, he was so outside of the box from the very jump, but it just worked. Like it goes back to
Bro.
show like we like people who are different.
bro. It's that battle rap shit too, where it's like, "I'll kill your motherfucker," and like it's like whatever, and it's like, "Ha!" like, oh, Jesus! It's like, oh God! Like, really? Did he just say that? Like you're like, bro, you're not allowed to say those things. But like, I think that's like obviously him at his. Bro, I didn't say then. Like, okay, like separate, like separate those things out. But you know, like I think that's like obviously that's true to who he is at the time. And honestly, I'll even say this. I think where Eminem has failed is this. I could be wrong about this. I don't even mind being wrong about this. Is the fact that he's almost tried to innovate too much. Anyway, like I almost feel like Eminem needs to just be Eminem and do his shit instead of like trying to like battle with like MGK and trying to like call people out now. And I don't know. Like I feel like he's like trying to come into this social media world and like I don't know integrate himself. Too much where it's like, dude, I just want you to, be angry. And he might not be. He's worth freaking billions of dollars or whatever. Like he's done his shit. He's probably not that angry at his life right now. But like, I almost feel like he's so good uniquely as the lyricist that he is in his lane that veering outside of that is a little bit dangerous for him as an artist. Where someone like Drake, who's not like the pinnacle of any of those things,
Right.
can do everything very well. And can be versatile and make hundreds of millions of dollars and not blink an eye. I feel like Eminem, people are like, boo, Eminem. You tried to be too poppy. You try to be too whatever. You're too soft. You're too like. People just want Eminem to hop on and say, "Fuck you." It's like that's really all they want from him.
Yeah.
The fact that he's not doing that, I think, has been a suffrage to his music.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
I mean, Eminem only had one style from the start, and the difference with
Yelling.
Drake, the difference with Drake is that he was diverse from the beginning, so he can literally start speaking French now, and people are like, okay, kind of weird, but like it's
Not
too
surprised.
big. It's nobody's
Yeah.
surprised by it because he just does it so often, and I think that was so. I don't even know if he did it intentionally, but it definitely worked out in his favor because he's able to experiment basically however he wants, as long as
Bro.
And he has a very good ear to know, what will the people. I think he's very in tune with internet culture and everything in general to know what people will enjoy hearing and whether this will work or that will work.
He made me like Marvin's Room, and that wasn't it wasn't a rappy type song. It was kind of like a slow R&B song, but
In Your Feelings
that
song,
shit, it was hard, man. It got me in my feelings. All his love songs too.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
sometimes I listen to him and I'm like, I just want to go to a breakup. I just want to go through a breakup as well. Like,
I want to be in this spot,
bro. Is that why like probably songs like Forever with like they had all these guys on it? Why they slap so much is because you see each of these people completely in their element. I mean, you got Drake singing, you got him singing that hook, and it's like smooth and mellow. You've got Lil Wayne come in and do his shit, and then you have Eminem come in at the end, being Eminem, complete beat switch to the more acoustic kind of sound that fits Eminem, and you see him shine in their element, and the song pops like ridiculous. Huge
I know.
song.
I know why it popped. There's only one reason why it popped. In all of his songs that he does this, they just go platinum because he goes like this. He goes, last name ever, first name, whatever the hell he does. But he does that thing with his lip,
commercials.
and he starts, like that Sprite commercial. Yes.
Last name ever.
What is it?
Sexy.
What is it? I can't.
First
name greatest. But yeah, he's got
like
that
a sprained
going
ankle,
at it.
boy. I ain't nothing to play with. Started off
local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis. Bro,
Oh.
see that song? You got people in their element, bro, and they shine, but it's like, just imagine for a second Eminem trying to do Marvin's Room.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have that type of diverse. Well, first of all, Drake can hold the tune.
I love you, baby.
No,
Drake-
it would be like this.
Drake
go ahead.
Drake can sing, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like the man is,
100%.
he's not the best singer, but he can hold a tune and he can come up with melodies.
Yep.
And that's something that most rappers can't do. So
Yes.
He's got a nice voice.
he solidified that from the jump.
I would let him talk me to sleep. Have a nice little lullaby, put me to
He
sleep.
could be on the call map.
I was about to
That's
say,
dope.
why is Drake not on the comment like, hey, girl, like,
I feel like he would piss a
go
lot
to
of
sleep.
Dude, Drake has a lot of haters, man. People love to hate Drake.
Bro,
I
they
think
still making
even
money.
even if he was on the call map, it would trigger me for some reason. Like his voice, like I love his music, but something about the man speaking like in interviews and stuff just doesn't sit right with me. Like,
You're like, damn, I got a great night's sleep after that. I hate him.
Why is he so good at everything?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I think that Eminem would make a Marvin's Room, but it would be called Kim's Room, and I think the whole song would just be about how he would torture her, how he would bury her body,
Bro,
who he would get to help him.
Nah, he hates Trump, so it would be called the Donald's Room, probably.
the Donald's Room, bro. And like, how does he do that too? Where like on a Love the Way You Lie, where like you have like this like super like sweet sounding like, is it Rihanna, right? Like sweet sounding like chorus, just wanna stand there, and he's like, I'm tired to the bed to set the house on fire. Like it's freaking like, oh shit, bro. Like you made it sound like such a sweet song. It's all passionate, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking murder her and burn her and bury her.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck.